Imagine a leadership team at a booming tech startup in Silicon Valley, all brilliant minds but totally fractured, secret alliances, veiled agendas, and meetings that feel more like battlegrounds than collaborations. They're brilliant but broken, and their product is bleeding potential. That tension is the exact moment Patrick Lencioni zeroes in on. It's not strategy or smarts alone that wins the game, it's how healthy an organization truly is. So what makes a company healthy? Hang on. Lencioni kicks off with a provocative truth: dysfunction at the top infects everything. A leadership team out of sync is like a leaky dam, pressure builds and chaos bursts out. At an East Coast manufacturing firm, Lencioni saw leadership frozen in polite silence. When he pushed them to openly debate a $30 million expansion, the tension exploded into raw arguments like a jarring thunderstorm after a drought. That brutal honesty, uncomfortable as it was, broke the ice and built real trust overnight. Think of a leadership team like a rock climber's gear. Without vulnerability, the willingness to admit doubts or mistakes, they're climbing blind, slipping perilously. But when leaders show their cracks, it's like switching on headlamps in a dark cave. The team navigates risks clearer and politics lose their grip. Once these leaders aligned around tough truths and shared direction, the company transformed. Instead of competing factions, they became a synchronized powerhouse, accelerating projects that had stalled for years. The surprising insight: momentum feeds on trust, not just strategy. Once the leadership team gels, clarity becomes their North Star. But Lencioni warns, vague missions and mixed messages are organizational cancer. Clarity isn't optional, it's survival. Lencioni introduces a deceptively simple framework: answer 6 questions everyone in the company can repeat. At a struggling healthcare company, once the team nailed down answers like "why do we exist" and "who is our ideal customer," clarity replaced chaos. Employees stopped guessing and started executing, like soldiers finally reading the same map. Imagine a projector beaming a blurry image on a wall. If the message isn't crystal clear, people strain to interpret it, leading to endless questions and wasted effort. Clarity sharpens that beam, piercing through the fog of mixed signals and making daily decisions easier and faster for everyone. You might think charismatic CEOs can carry fuzzy visions. Nope. Lencioni's research shows that consistent messaging and follow-through outpace charm every time. When clarity persists from the boardroom to the break room, it creates a culture where confusion can't sneak in, even if the CEO takes a day off. Here's where most companies fumble. They assume if you say it once, it sticks. Lencioni flips that: overcommunicate clarity relentlessly or risk slipping back into chaos. One of Lencioni's clients, a global retailer, started broadcasting their core values with brutal frequency: weekly emails, daily huddles, posters everywhere. At first, people rolled their eyes. Months later, those values weren't just slogans, they were behaviors. It's like learning a song: the more you repeat it, the more it becomes your soundtrack. Meetings aren't just about ticking boxes, they're alive with purpose. Lencioni calls them organizational vital signs. In one company, weekly leadership team meetings became intense yet focused forums where clarity was sharpened or restored, preventing small misunderstandings from exploding into crippling drama. Reinforcement is like watering a plant. Just saying the words once might sprout a seed, but without consistent nurturing, updates, feedback loops, recognition, the healthy culture withers. The payoff: when clarity is habit, star performers feel rooted and focused, turnover plummets and productivity soars. Remember that fractured Silicon Valley startup we met? Imagine them now, leadership locked in honest debate, everyone on the same page, and clarity blasted like a spotlight on every desk. That's organizational health, a powerhouse no strategy alone can match. Try this next week: pick one core value and overcommunicate it relentlessly. Trust me, it'll start healing your organization before you know it. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.